Coding. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing fine and you're doing well. So my name is Benji Kenya, your number one Kenyan trader, East Africa, and we are taking over also Africa very soon. So we are going to do our analysis. Today is on 10th of August, 2025. And we're going to do some breakdown of some few pairs that we need to do. As always, we're going to do a fundamental analysis session. Then we do a technical analysis session. Then we see what we're expecting this week. I'll just probably brush through whatever we had last week. Then we can do whatever we're expecting this week. I hope you guys are okay with that. So we'll begin our session. I'll be very brief, very straightforward. And I will take only some few minutes time, around 40 minutes or 45. I won't take lots of time. All right, so let's begin. I hope you can see my screen. So if you can see my screen and you can hear me, please give me that reaction. Once again, if you can see my screen and also you can hear me, give me those reactions. So Martins, I see you. Ivy, I see you. Sam, I see you. Thank you so much. That's really good. So I see we are good. So I'll start with the fundamental analysis for this week. But before we do for this week, Rahab, Dex, I see you guys. So let's do a brief of whatever we had last week, so that whatever we're going to have, we're going to expect, we're going to have an expectation of whatever we're going to be having this week. So I'll just have the dollar, just the dollar. We had the JPY also, it's very important. Also the pound. Where is the pound? Last week, did we have the JPY? We didn't have the JPY, but nevertheless, we had also the pound. So last week, we only had two red folder news for the dollar, which is SM, services PMI, and also unemployment claims. Both of them came out negative for the dollar, and you had the dollar actually dumping even further. Then we had the pound news. The pound news came out positive for the pound, and this is what we were expecting, together with the VIPs. And this is where we had all the pound pairs, such as GBP USD, GBP JPY, GBP AUD, GBP card. I'll show you a GBP card entry also I had. They actually went well according to my analysis, and things actually were so good. So pound was positive. Came out positive. The pound news, the bank rate policy came out positive for the pound, and we're expecting the pound to keep on pumping. Then we had the USD that came out negative for the dollar. For this week, I'll be bearish on the pound. Some of you are going to counter me, but I'll be bearish on the pound. So let's check what we have this week, so that at least you can be able to have an expectation for this week. So tomorrow, Monday, we're going to be having 2 bank holidays for the AUD. And also card pair or currency. Then we're going to be having CHF. Let me just make sure that we are in the right week. Just making sure. So yes, this is the right dates, because today is on 10th. So we're having 11th to 15th as our trading week. So Monday, we're going to be having a bank holiday for the JPY. So JPY pairs, it's going to be a bank holiday, no red folder news whatsoever. So tomorrow it's going to be low volume day. It's going to be not a very volatile day as we expect. So what we usually do during this day with the private community, it's very simple. We usually trade during the opening session of the two volatile trading sessions, which is the London sessions that begins at 10 a.m. and also the New York session that begins at 3 p.m. This is East African time, Nairobi time. So that's what we usually do. For the first 1 hour, we usually trade during that period. If our setups and our entries are in line with that time, we are good to go. Remember, we were taught about time and price last week by a trader from Nairobi. He taught us quite well, and that's what we are going to be doing for this week. So that's Monday. Then Tuesday, we are going to be having AUD and also USD. So Next week, Tuesday, is going to, this week actually, Tuesday is going to be red folder news for the CPI. So we're going to be having CPI. CPI is consumer price index. It measures the inflation rate in the US. So we're going to see inflation rate being rated for the core CPI monthly on monthly, CPI monthly on monthly, then CPI yearly on yearly. We're going to be having the data. So it's simple. We're going to be having, previous was 0.2% for the core CPI. Expectation or the forecast is 0.3, an increase. For the CPI monthly on monthly, 0.3 to 0.2 reduction. Then CPI yearly on yearly, 2.7 to 2.8, an increase. Okay, so currently, from what I've been learning, or from what I've been studying in the US, currently we are having an increased inflation rate and a reduction of the job creation. I remember NFP data came out very negative on 1st of this month. So it was very, it came out low numbers and it was very negative. So that is going to push the Fed to cut rates very soon, probably this September, if things go well. And that's where we're going to be taking advantage of the market. Then Wednesday, AUD. Let's see what we have on the AUC. Oh, so we have the bank rate policy also, but this comes out at 7:30. So it's very important for the AUC, traders. It's a very important day for you guys. For me, I usually don't actually concentrate much more on the AUC. For me, it's the dollar. Then on Wednesday, it's going to be a calm day, 4:30 only. We're going to be having the wage price index quarterly. It's going to be a very low volume day, just like Monday. So we're going to be having a very high volume or a high impact news on Tuesday from 3:30 p.m. That's New York time. Then Monday and Tuesday are low trading sessions. Then on Thursday, we're going to be having also the Audi. So the Audi is going to be chaotic this week. It's going to be moving quite well. We have the employment change and the unemployment rate happening at 4:30 a.m. very early. Remember, AUC and the NSD rate for please confirm if you can still hear me. Please confirm if you can still hear me by just reacting, because my net is not netting. Okay, we are good. Thank you. All right, thank you. Then we are having Thursday, we're having the AUC very early in the morning, then pound at 9 a.m. We're having GDP, gross domestic product, monthly on monthly. Then 3:30 p.m. we have the core PPI and the PPI. Actually, CPI and PPI usually comes the same week. Then Friday it's going to be we're going to having a French and Italian Euro bank holiday. Then, but for the dollar, it's going to be a very chaotic day or a very high volume trading day. We're going to be having core retail sales, and then you have the prelim UM consumer sentiment. So good trading days actually to trade for this week. It's very simple. It's going to be, if you love volatility, it's going to be on Tuesday, on Thursday, and also on Friday. So Monday and Wednesday is going to be a low volume trading day, but Wednesday, not that, because we're going to be having the consumer price index is going to be very volatile. Wednesday, probably you're going to be expecting a retracement or a pullback from those moves from the price action that will have happened on Tuesday. So actually from Tuesday to Friday is going to be good trading days for those who love trading, and for those who love volatility. Tuesday to Friday, good days to trade. Which pairs? The same pairs that we trade every single day: GBP USD, Euro USD, gold. That's our favorite metal. NASDAQ, US 30, always from 4 p.m. That's when the volatility starts kicking in. All right, so that's what we're going to be having from those particular days. So let's come to the pairs that we want to watch this week. So I'll start with the dollar. I'll start with the weekly time frame because we did the monthly last week. So let's see what we're having for this week and what we might be expecting for this week. So this week, or how last week actually closed down, it's very, very clear price action. So the market has been respecting bearish PDRAs. You can see here, this is one is in April. This is on a weekly time frame. I've started the session on the dollar index on the weekly time frame. We can see the market respecting bearish PDRAs. Here we had a good price action. You can see how last week but one's candle closed with a very big rejection from above, and you can see how last week's candle closed. There was no volume being injected, though this market seems so bullish, but I'm expecting this market to come all the way and take out this low. So as much as I was bullish from last week, I'm seeing signs that this market is very weak, unless next week's candle closes above. Let me just use this and also this. So unless this market closes above this area, that's when you're going to be knowing that the dollar is actually pumping. I have not read news from Trump and his policies, okay? But for now, I'll be expecting this market to drop even below. This is going to be our target on the weekly time frame. I'm not seeing this market actually coming and taking out this high. So I'm seeing a scenario where this market is going to be bearish, okay? We're having a lot of rejection. This actually is what we usually call price exhaustion most of the time. So the bulls are not that active. They are not that, they don't have the energy to push the market higher. From last week, but one and last week's candle, we can see we are having a lot of rejection unless we have a high impact news such as CPI, which is going to happen on Tuesday to push the market higher. But for now, according to price action and how I read price action, this market is bearish, but we had a weekly FVG that is actually here, a bullish FVG that actually supported prices higher. But when this market came to this price that actually here and dropped below, we can see that the body and the wick, they have equal length, and probably, if I'm not biased, the wick might be even bigger than the body. But let's just measure it. We see what we have. Okay, from this low to this high, that's what we have here. So the wick is actually much bigger than the body with some few pips. So this means that when the buyers were pushing the market higher, they entered into a seller's region or a dominant seller's area, and the sellers were very strong and pushed even the market lower. Last week, the market even closed with a bearish candle, signifying that this market is actually bearish. As much as we had a weekly FVG, how this candle closed, and also last week's, signifying that we have weakness of the buyers and the sellers are dominant. So let's check on the daily time frame what we have and what we can see. It's very simple. Now on the daily, we are having there was this bullish FVG that was actually here. We can see now this market is not actually necessarily respecting this bullish FVG. We are having the daily FVG, and there is something that is actually quite important to note. It's very important. You see this candle, we had this was the Friday's NFP candle on 1st of this month of August. We saw the following week on Monday, the market opened, created an FVG. Tuesday's candle came and took out Monday's candle and closed with a wick. Then Wednesday, this is what we were expecting, a dump. Then on Thursday, we created an FVG. Then Friday, it closed with a bullish candle, but not an engulfing candle. So what I'll be expecting for this week with the dollar index is simply this move. And if it can play out quite well, we can be able to make a lot of money from this market. So it's simply to take out Friday's high and also Thursday's high to tap into this PDRA. This is a bearish FVG. If the market can come, tap into this area and then close with a candle, with a rejection probably. So this can signify that this market is actually interested in doing what? Pushing lower, and we can push lower to these particular areas where I'm seeing probably the bulls can actually take over from this particular zone that is actually here. So from here, this market can be bullish, and we can probably now push the market even higher. There's a candle, there's an OB that is actually here before this impulsive big move that happened. So this area can serve as a good bullish or a good demand zone to push the market even higher. So that's what I am having eyes on. Thursday's high to be taken out, the market to tap into this FVG. We likely see scenario where the FVG can be cleared fully or partially. But if the market is going to close with a body above, just know that now we are bullish and the market is now interested in what? The market is interested in this FVG that is actually above here. So this FVG that is actually above here. Okay. So if the market closes bullish above, that's what I'll be expecting. But for now, if this is going to play out and the market drops, so if the Monday candle is going to tap into this daily FVG and closes with the week, expect Tuesday's candle to close even lower and then drop, or probably Monday just to be on this area. Tuesday's candle to come tap into this FVG during CPI and drop and close with a body with a wick from above. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday can serve as the continuation of this major move that is actually happening. So those are the scenarios that I'll be expecting on the dollar index. Then I'll come to the H4. We see what we are having on the H4. So this is how the H4 looks like. So we're having an extreme supply zone that is actually here. This is the NFP move. And as I told you guys, this NFP move, this price action that is actually here, this is a very big imbalance that was left out during the NFP move, and I'm not seeing this area being mitigated now, probably later, but this needs a very high impact to push the market to this particular area. Okay, so this imbalance is a big one, but it will happen, but not now, probably later. Okay, so the move that I'm expecting for now, it's a very simple move. I'm having two zones I'm having eyes on. So the first zone is this area. This is a decisional POI that is actually here. Then we are having an extreme zone, our extreme POI, which is actually here on the 1 hour. Then we're having the most extreme POI that is actually here that can push the market even lower. So as I said, I'm not expecting this market to close above this area. Okay, so I'm expecting the market, if it's going to go, the first scenario is tap into this supply on the H1, then dump, or if it's going to go even above this extreme POI, then should then come to this particular demand area. All right, then from here we can see whatever the price action is going to behave. You can have a push to the upside to this supply, then it drop lower, or the market can decide to go where? Down. So we're having different scenarios. So how the daily candle is going to close is going to give us a good message on whatever the market is going to be interested in. Then we are having this particular area, okay, that was actually serving as a good area for us to be able to sell. So this was Friday's candle, and you can see how the market closed during Tuesday. So the market took out the Monday high, came to this supply, and from here we had these dumps, and the market dumped even further. This was the expectation. So for now, I was seeing some eyes on this particular area. Just before I did this analysis, I was seeing some eyes, or I was having eyes on this particular area, but I'm seeing this area serving as a smart money trap to trap early sellers. Okay, that area, usually what I usually call a SMC trap, but I'm seeing now this area where we had the last area with the FVG, and all this area is going to serve as an inducement zone. Okay, this entire area. It's going to serve as an inducement zone before the supply zone, and then probably you can have this market actually dumping. So I'm having eyes on this area, and also another interesting area that can have some few pips of sales before we take it out. So this is another area that I'm actually seeing. So I was having these two arrows where I'll be expecting if the market can come to this area and be dropped to this particular area. Okay, tap into this area. Then from here, we have the drops to this sell side liquidity. Or if the market is going to close above this area, the market is going to be interested in this area where we can have the pumps. And then we might have some drops from this particular area. So I'm having two eyes. This is the first area, and this is the second area. And as I usually say, it's very important to place yourself in a good position like the smart money. Okay, so if this market is going to react from this area, just know we're going even lower. This area is going to be left out as a price action area that's going to be filled later, probably this month or next month, but just later. Or if not, if the market closes above this particular zone, We're going to go higher to this particular area. Then from this area is where probably you can see some sells, and then we can go all the way down. So CPI on Tuesday is going to serve as a good test for us to know if the market is interested on this supply, the first one, or the above one, which is actually quite here. All right. If I'm good and if I'm clear, please, as always, let's react so that I can see if we are reacting quite well. I see we are 28 of us, but I'm expecting more people to join in and come in. Okay, I see you guys. Okay, Dex, I see you. Vincent, MJFX, Ngala, thank you so much for being in. So that's DXY. I love analyzing DXY as my first pair because it's simple. If you're in line with the DXY, Veli, Edwin, thank you so much for those reactions. If I'm in line with proper alignment with the DXY, I am so sure that this week is when I'm going to make a lot of money. If you're in line with price action, actually from Monday or from Sunday, you're going to have or to make a lot of money. This last week was a good week. I made some few coins from the market, and we thank God for this market because at least now the market is starting to behave quite well. So I'll do Euro USD, I'll do GBP USD, and probably USD JPY. All right, before I do also the stocks, it's very important now. I will be doing this. Then I'll invite Sam, if he's in and he's in a position to share his screen, we can be able to do gold, and he shares his screen also. I'm not sure if Brent is also in. Probably he's in Nairobi at Kasarani Stadium. Still cheering. Still cheering. Harambee Stars. Harambee Stars hit TP. And you guys have not hit TP. So I'll start with the weekly time frame. I'll start with the weekly time frame. So simple thing, this market has been bullish and respecting bullish PDRAs, very simple on a weekly, and we're still having the push to the upside. There was a good price action that was actually here, but not on this chart. It was on forex.com, this particular area. We can see how this market on the weekly time frame actually closed. You see these lows, they acted as liquidity. When these lows were taken out, you can see simply by this last week but one's candle, and from there liquidity was grabbed. So after liquidity is being grabbed, what do you expect with the markets? Okay, because these are usually what we usually call liquidity consumption candles, where they come, consume the liquidity, leave a rejection, then they push even higher. And you can see how last week's candle closed. It's a bullish candle, not that impactful, but probably, just probably, we might, after liquidity has been consumed from below, let me just make sure I am marking this area out quite well. Okay, after liquidity has been consumed from below, what we expect is this market to go above. So I'll be bullish on Euro USD. I'll be bullish also on GBP USD and also on AUD USD, and I'll be bearish on USD CHF and USD CAD for this week, unless probably CPI changes this narrative. But for now, you can see how these lows, they were taken out quite simply with these rejections. Okay, so I'm seeing a scenario where this market can actually open and you can push even higher and take out this external range liquidity. So this was a move of IRL to ERL. We can see that this move was a internal range liquidity kind of a candle. You can see after liquidity was consumed, the market pushed higher. You're expecting now the market to continue doing what? Pushing higher. And if the inflation rate is high in the US, what do we expect? The dollar to dump, okay? The dollar to dump, but the reaction is going to be from the Feds. The Feds are going to react from that, then the following or the continuing weeks, we might see something else happening with the dollar. But this is what I was seeing, a scenario where this market can actually pump even higher. That's for Euro USD. So let me come to my chart. I usually use FXCM. This is the pair that I started with back then in 2020 and also in 2021. There was an year, by the way, I didn't use to trade, or I didn't use to do analysis on the dollar index. Okay, there's a time I used to just come to my There's a time I used to just come to my MT5. Actually, back then we were trading with MT4, and you know, guys, MT4 how hectic it can be trading with the MT4. It's very hectic. Okay, and I was just checking from there, and if I see a good price action, I entered that market. I didn't know how to analyze, but now I'm here and I'm analyzing this market in front of 30 plus members. It's growth. Okay, and I want to grow some of you guys to become good traders. We usually start by having good analysis. We grow your psychology, and now you become beast in the market, where sio lazima we do this analysis. It's not a must. I had a trader actually that told me that he doesn't have to do analysis like how I'm drawing these things. He used to come and see how the price action is when he's hiding these drawings, and he can actually predict where the market is actually going. That comes with experience. It doesn't come just that way. Okay, nakuja a lot of experience. All right, so the same thing with the with the dollar index. This is the same thing I'll be expecting. So Friday's last week's Friday on 1st of August, NFP, this was the NFP candle. Monday's candle for last week, you see how it opened. Tuesday's candle swept the Monday's low, pushed even higher. Wednesday candle, we usually see a lot of continuations on Wednesdays and also Thursdays. That's what you usually see. Then Thursday, you can see it left out an FVG. It's a tiny one, but actually what we can see is a good price action, where Friday closed with a rejection with a bearish candle. So I'm yet to see a market reaction where if this market can come, sweep this low, Friday's low, and also Thursday's low, tap into this daily FVG. Now this market can even push higher. After liquidity has been grabbed, it might be even easier for us to do what? To push even higher. So this is going to be a move of internal liquidity to external range liquidity. A good classic move, and they usually keep on saying this. If this can actually transpire, we can push higher. If not, this market will be interested in tapping into this FVG at least 50%. ICT traders call it consequential encroachment. All right, and from there, that's where we can see probably the market moving. But I'm seeing a scenario where it can come to this price zone, then push higher. Then on the H4, it's very simple and clear. On the H4, we're also having an H4 FVG. Market is actually quite loading. So this H4 FVG here, it's actually quite there. That's what we have. So the market tapped into this FVG. After it tapped into this FVG, it actually pushed higher. But we're not seeing a scenario where this FVG actually pushed the market and breaking this high. Okay, so I'm still, I'll be seeing this as inducement for me. So this was Thursday's low. Do you have any other low? Okay, so this is going to be a Thursday's low. So this is going to be liquidity for me. Okay. And for now, I will delete this FVG. It was not filled actually fully. And I'm having a demand area, a lower time frame demand area. You can see this demand area was actually filled and the market pushed higher. So this was the last demand area that has not been filled. We're having an FVG that needs to be filled and the market pushed higher. Where are we going? We are going to this area. So as much as we are aware that on the FVG, we are aware that where we are going, it's on this area, the supply zone. So we need to know where the market can actually, the likelihood, the most likely area the market can react to is this area. If we can have this drop to this area, then we see on M15 and M5 a good price action for buys. We can enter using that confirmation, lower time frame confirmation. And from there, we can have that big push to where? To the upside until to the supply zone. Okay, so this is the move I'll be expecting. Dumps to this demand zone to take out this liquidity, and also this FVG to fill it at least, then we can have a push the upside. So this is a good classic move of internal to external range liquidity, and that's the move I'll be expecting for this week. And if I come to the H1, it's very simple and it's very clear. This is the area I'll be expecting as much as the FVG was filled. All right, this is the area I'll be expecting the market to come to, this particular area. On the H1, we're having a clear demand area. So this move can happen during Tuesday, I guess during Tuesday, and I won't enter using a pending order. me and my team, we don't have pending orders currently. Okay, what we usually do, we have eyes on areas like this. We set our, what do we call them? We set our alerts. Once we set our alerts, it's going to be easy for us. So this is a move that I'll be expecting. So let me just share this. Okay. So this is the move I'll be expecting for this week. Long position, this area, stop loss just below this low, just to make sure that we are intact. Okay, around 17 pips, not bad. This is going to be our first target. This is going to give us an R of 1 to 6.9. That's a good one. That's a clean one. But majorly, what I usually do is I usually wait for the market to come. Okay, this particular area, if this market gives us a good price action, we can actually buy from this particular area, and you can push this market all the way. Yeah, so that's a classic move I'll be expecting on the EU. Then we have what we call SMT. It's very important for us to understand SMT on EU and GU, and we see if you're having the same zone here where we are expecting the market to react, either EU or GU is going to take out this low, and the other one is going to respect this low and push even higher. So if having the same, we can check it out and we see which pair we can trade. Okay, that's what we call SMT, smart money tool. So let's come to GBP USD. We see what we're having. And by the way, on Euro USD, on Friday, I was expecting this move, and I even shared out with the team. Let me just show you on 30 minutes. So this move is what I was expecting. Okay, because that's on Friday. I usually know days where the market can actually pull back to these areas. So this is the move, where the market was expecting to come back to this area, then push higher to this first target, but actually didn't play out quite well. I shared this setup. Let me see, in the private community over on Friday. I shared some few setups. So this was the setup. Okay, Friday, this is where I was having my eyes on the next possible move, and I usually know where the market can actually react to. But we can see that this market was not actually interested in this area, but actually it came close. We missed it with some few pips, and it gave us some few pips actually. So actually, if it was actually ideal, we could have had a good buy on Friday, but this happened at around 13:30 Kenyan time, and it pushed even higher. Okay, then from there the market closed at 23:30. Okay, so this was a good move. This is where I was having some eyes on, actually, and it offered some good pips, but actually didn't tap to our entry. So for this week, I'll be bearish. Actually, on Monday, I'll be bearish on EU. Okay, I'll be bearish just to make sure that we have filled all this imbalance that is actually here. I'll be looking for a good area to sell this market from, probably on this particular area. So this is not a setup I will be having eyes on. I'll be waiting for the Asian session to close. Once the Asian sessions has closed, then from there I'll be looking for more entries. Okay, probably from this particular area, then we can dump this market all the way down. Then we can collect the buys from here and we push all the way to this final target. We can even hold until this flies on. So let's check GBP USD. I'm very fast. I'll check it on the weekly time frame. We see how the weekly closed, and GBP USD actually has been performing quite better than even EU. And you guys know GBP USD is one of my favorite pairs. I usually trade GBP USD more than even Euro USD. So we can see how clean price action has been. Weekly FEGs have been respected. We can see this, the market has respected it. I was even checking if we can see that probably this low was taken out, but I saw that this low was not taken out. Some few pips, but this is not going to be liquidity. How the market last week's actually closed and how this week's candle closed, and also with the bank policy rates being so bullish for the pound, I'm expecting now the pound to come all the way high. So this candle actually took out so many lows actually that were here. So this is what I usually call a liquidity consumption candle. Once the liquidity has been consumed, now the market can actually move. So this market is going to move with ease. Probably this week we can expect this market to close around here, then next week to take out this high, then an FVG is going to be formed here, the market to drop down after an old low has been taken out. We can expect some retracement, then from here the market can push higher. So that's my case scenario. That's my narrative for the GBP USD. I have done so many cases like this, so I'm expecting this candle for this week to actually pump higher. So this can act as an OB on this body. Okay, the market can probably, if it's going to retrace to this particular area, then push higher. Okay, then that's my expectation for GBP USD. It's finally be expecting this market to maintain bullish the bullish trend. All right, then on the daily time frame, we are having a daily FVG that is actually here. If and only if Friday's low is going to be taken out on Monday, the market to come take this low, then to fill this FVG either partially, 50% or fully, either way. But as long as on Monday's candle is going to push below, then we have a push to the upside. This is going to be my draw on liquidity for this week. I believe that this high is going to be taken out. Then we might have this high being taken out the following week. Okay, so this is going to be my case scenario. Either on Monday or on Tuesday, if this low is going to be taken out, I'll repeat, and also this daily FVG is going to be filled. Now we can have a classic move of internal liquidity being consumed, then we move to the external. So this is going to be my weekly draw on liquidity. Good and clear? Are we good till there on GBP USD?
We are good.
Too fast. You're good?
Yes, we are good.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, you see we are 32 of us. Thank you so much. We are good. So as I said, we are not expecting chorus answers. For formality, we just use the reaction area. I see nimesikia sauti ya smart trader. He's going to tell us more about BTC. I'll give him a chance. All right. Oh, so this is GBP USD. Then on a H4, on the H4, this is the daily FVG. So I'm expecting, let me just, I was just seeing a scenario. So this is the daily FVG that I was talking about. These are the lows that I probably want these lows to be taken out, but this market is very strongly bullish. Okay, so let me just deduce this visibility to make sure that it's only happening on the daily. So I'm having a decisional POI that is actually here that I was checking out on Friday, where the market can actually react from. So I'm having this area, it's the first area, this is the most extreme area. I'm having this area on the H1 and 30 minutes, you're going to see how this area looks like, and we're having this high. So this is going to be last week's high. So this is going to be our area of interest where this market, if it's going to dump, we can take this out. Okay, so what else am I remaining with? So let me just remove this for now. So that's going to be a classic move of filling the daily FVG, coming to a demand area on the H1, then we can push higher, take this out, then probably push even higher to take this out. So I'll be having a supply zone. So I'll be out on this particular supply zone, but the market can actually take it out. But it's very, very important for you not to have this as your take profit. Make sure it's just below the supply zone for you to be able to maximize on your profits and not to have any worries, because if it's going to actually react from this supply zone, you're already going to be out, because these markets usually react from these supply zones. Okay, so it's very important to have your take profit at an area we know that is going to be a conducive area, and you're not going to be having any particular retracements before our TP is going to be hit. But this is going to be our TP1. Okay, I usually have TP1s and TP2s, okay, all the way. So this is going to be a classic move. So this is where my eyes are, and it's also a flip zone. As you can see how this market actually has been behaving on this particular area. This is how we usually know flip zones, okay, where the market probably behaved as a supply zone, then later behaved as a demand zone. So this is also a flip zone. For those who trade flip zones, that's a good area also. So I'll be having this my eyes on this particular area, being in line also with the daily FVG, okay, and also the H4 FVG. I'll be expecting this market to come here, then probably react. Then this is going to be a first particular target. So first target, simple as that. That's what we have. Then what you're going to do is you're going to be having a long position from this zone. Okay. Ideally and realistically, our stop loss is supposed to be below this area, but those are going to be so many pips. So what we're going to do, we're going to have our stop loss a subjective stop loss, not an objective one, 20 pips. Our first target is going to be there, 3.81 R. Then another higher area, which is going to be probably here. Okay, and this full going to give us around 8.57 R. So this is going to be my eyes actually, but my first target is going to be here. Okay, I'll probably take partials if I'm having one entry, or if I'm having two entries, one entry is going to be, my TP is going to be here. Then second TP is going to be on this particular supply, just before our supply. I hope you're good and we're clear. Then I'll do USD JPY, because USD JPY has been actually so good, and it has been behaving quite well, and I was even checking on it this week. So this is the H1, but let's check on H4. I don't want to do a weekly, daily, then come to H4 because time is really running. Last week we were able to take some quick scalps. Let me just show you. H1, we were able to sell this market. We dumped with it from this particular area. Let me see if it's visible on the 30. Yes, it's actually visible. We took a sell from this particular area, and I saw this area is a good area to buy. Then we had a sell to buy, kind of an entry. Then on Friday, we had a buy, as you can see. So the sell was from here. We all came down to this particular area, and I saw some pumps on Thursday, actually. It happened so well. I shared this setup. It was actually quite good, and even shared it on in the community, and this was a good entry that we actually had. Let me just share in a few. And I even share this as a good setup. This one, just before the market tapped into this entry. So you can see the market tapped. We had good rejection candlesticks on the M15. The market pushed even higher. The market didn't hit full TP, but it actually gave us some good pips. Okay, so it's not necessary for you to have full TP being hit. As you can see, the market then reversed from this particular area. But for those who are holding, I was able to tell them from this particular area, we just take out our profits and check on some other pairs, and this was a good entry. Then this week, how the market has opened or how the market closed, I'm seeing two areas where they can serve as good buying areas, because this market is actually bullish short term, because I'm expecting the DXY to be bullish on the weekly, as I had told you before the market hits. Let me just show you before the market hits. Is it on the weekly, on the daily? Okay, before the market hits this daily FVG, so I'll be bullish, some slightly bullish. So also on the USD JPY, as much as USD JPY and also the dollar don't correlate really positively, but I'll just use that for correlation. Okay, at least I'll be basing that. Then also on the M30, I'm seeing two areas of demand. We have this zone and also this zone. If I use my fib, I'm so sure this is going to be the entry that I'll be really interested in. So let's check. So this is below 50%. Sometimes the market reacts on the 50%. Okay, but the area that we might be interested in, the 618 and 786. I'm not a fib trader, but sometimes I usually check the fib area if I'm having two zones that I'm actually interested in. So this is a decisional POI, an area just above our extreme POI. So these are going to be the two areas that I'm going to be checking at, and this is going to be our first target where we can expect this market actually to come to. So I'll be having eyes on this area and also on this area. Okay, this area. So this is going to be Friday's low. So, but this area can offer us some good buys. But USD JPY, the JPY pairs, they usually don't retrace so much. That's one thing I've noted. They usually trace some few pips, then the market pushes even higher. So these, the JPY pairs, they are good pairs to trade. If you're having a small account and you want to grow your account, please avoid gold. Just concentrate on currencies and also the JPY pairs. They can give you some good pips. So this is the move that I'll be expecting the market to dump, then give us those buys. Or if it's going to break this zone, we can have this zone as the next area where we can expect the market to push even higher. So I'm a supply and demand trader using ICT and SMC concepts, okay, and FVG as my imbalances or my areas of imbalance, just to fill it before it comes to my supply and demand area, before the market push even higher. So this is the next zone I'll be watching or having eyes on. So let's talk about NASDAQ in a nutshell, and US30. I'll just use the weekly time frame. This market is strongly bullish, and I'll be maintaining a bullish bias. So I'll be maintaining the bullish bias. I'm still bullish, and I'll be expecting this market to continue having the bullish sentiment also, and also the US30. So these are stocks. They are very, very bullish. Let me just use the US30. Also the US30, I'll be expecting this market to continue the bullish trend, but I'm seeing a good FVG that is actually here. So the NASDAQ doesn't have an FVG, but we can see on the US30, the market has reacted on weekly FVG, and probably it might push even higher and take out this liquidity. We are having a lot of liquidity that is actually has built up on these particular highs. So this is a resistance area for retail traders. That's what they know. But for us as a smart money traders or ICT traders, this is actually liquidity that has been built up. Okay, so I'm expecting that to continue. So I'll be bullish for this week. Anytime you're going to see any retracements, I know traders like Edwin and also Derek, they have started trading US30. Actually, Derek shocked me. He used 0.8 lots on his account. It's his first time using 0.8. It was a 0.4, two lots, I mean two entries, which is a 0.8. It's a big, big lot on a $200 account. So it was actually a good thing. So he used those buyers. We usually trade the US30 and NASDAQ from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's what I usually check on. Actually, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Let me just say so. Once 6 p.m. has been hit, liquidity is actually usually over. But actually, liquidity is very volatile between 4:30 and 5. So until 6 a.m., we usually hold those entries. So anytime you're going to see a drop like this, just so the market is going to feel that imbalance, because we are maintaining a bullish bias. Okay, so let's talk about now the monster gold. Right, the monster gold has been giving us sleepless nights. I know gold has been giving us sleepless nights, and gold has not been golding. We were able to see smart trader shorting this market. I was actually longing this market, you know, and at the end of the day, we made profits, okay? But I'm seeing a scenario where this market now has turned into a bullish market. But before I just do this analysis on gold, because I'm so sure you love gold, and you love trading gold, and we have so many gold traders. And as much as you have a small account, you still want to trade gold, I will give you the honor to hear a very good ICT trader by the name Sam. Sam, if you're in, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening.
You good?
I'm good.
Very nice. So, can you be able to talk about gold? Are you in a position to share your screen?
Yes, let me share.
You tell us gold and what are you anticipating on gold?
Yes, can you hear? Can you see?
We can hear you, but I can't see your screen yet.
Can you see now?
Yeah. So now it's actually quite visible and it's quite okay. So please go ahead and share your thoughts on gold.
So on gold last week, not around, but I was keeping watch on it. So for gold, let me just don't be alarmed about my drawings. This is just for my analysis, so to better understand what gold is doing. So last week you can see last week's candle on this is the July. This green candle, and last week's candle formed a weekly imbalance, which is a volume imbalance. So you can see this candle didn't touch it. You would not be able to see it, but you just look at the price, the closing price of this one and this one. This one is lower and this one is higher, so there's that imbalance, which created a volume imbalance on the weekly. So that is a point of interest for price to go and test. Once we go down to the lower time frame, now on the daily, Thursday's candle and Friday's candle also formed a volume imbalance. So you can see this. You can see I've labeled it. It also formed a bullish volume imbalance, which could be used to push prices higher. On the H4, so you can see price was doing what we call seek and destroy. It was going up and down, up and down. But from last week's analysis, from where we analyzed on Sunday, price really moved. It formed a bullish. We had a bullish run, but it got somewhere and it started now like consolidating. And you can see on my drawings, it was where this H4, so this volume imbalance, sorry, not volume imbalance, fair value gap. This fair value gap that was formed in July. So price got to that point and it started forming. It didn't go above it. You can see no bodies have gone above this bearish fair value gap. And you can see also the volume imbalance that was formed on the daily. That was on Friday and Thursday. So my anticipation for this week, based on what I'm seeing here, I anticipate that price is going to go up. So today's opening, I would like to see, hopefully this is what it's going to do. It's going to open, go up. But since we have CPI, so I'm anticipating price will go up and then test these areas. This area that I've labeled here, the H4 bearish, a H4 bearish order block, a H4 bearish fair value gap, and a H4, this is a breaker, breaker from bullish to a bearish. So I'm looking for price this week or in the next few hours. Once it opens, takes out this cycles. You can see these are relative highs. We have this, the highest high, and then which is relatively this high, on Friday's high. So I'm anticipating price to go and take out this high, then get to this point. Then from there, now it can start retracing and start forming bearish structures or a bearish trend. As also on the H3, you can see there's an order block that could assist in pushing those prices higher to that area I'm telling you. So this price is around this price is so this sorry, my bad. Yeah, now what am I doing? Okay, so this is H3. So you can see I have an order block, a H3 order block that could be used to go higher. H2. So on H2, this is what is giving me that anticipation on this candle. The way this candle closed on H2, this candle could act like a bullish H2 order block, and that's what I'm hoping to see. And if it opens higher than this, then you can go all the way to that point, then go down. And then on the H1, still the same, on 45 minutes, it's still the same. I'm anticipating some candles to be bullish order blocks that could take this price to the area I'm telling you. So from around 30, this is 33.98, from 33.98 all the way to this, to around 3400, or no, sorry, my bad. to around 30. This is to around 34.19 or 34.20. So I would anticipate price to buy all the way to 34.20. Then we have a bearish trend from there. That's what I'm anticipating on gold. Yeah. So for gold, I have nothing much. It is what I have for gold.
Thank you so much, Sam. Sam actually has highlighted he's bullish on gold, and that's one thing that I really wanted to hear from him. And it's very, very important that he's bullish, because you're going to be maintaining the bullish bias also together on my side. Now, from Friday's meeting, if you guys remember, let me just start with the Thursday. We had a good buy setup on this particular area on Thursday. I had this setup when the market pushed high. Then the same Thursday during London, it gave us a very big pullback, and I entered using this demand area that caused this big push, and I was so sure that this market is actually bullish. It gave us a big scare, but we entered and we had our stop loss just below this zone, and you can see it was respected. The market pushed higher, came down. Then we had this big push. After we saw this big push, the market came back. I had another entry on another account and pushed higher. Then we had around 5. We had one of the members speaking. And please, if your mic is on, please mute your mic. MJFX. But the MJ should text me. I am really seeing you very active in our Sunday's analysis. You come and join our private community together with the Smart Trader. All right. So on Thursday, I saw this area. It's a good area. The market pushed higher, gave us a bit of some scare. You can see this candle, how it came all the way down, as you can see, until it came back to our entry. The good thing or the lucky thing, I didn't BE. The market came back and it even pushed higher. And we were holding this trade together with the VIP. They were scared, but I told them, let's just keep on holding. At some point, I was out when the market came back to these particular highs. Some other entries I had left, it came all the way and our TP was hit. But I was having eyes on this particular area and also on this lower area. So I had an entry here and also a penning on this particular area. Sometimes we have to be very, very aggressive, because once the market reacts from a particular zone, it's very important to know where probably the market can react to. And when the market came back to this and the candle closed with this bearish candle, probably I knew that the market was interested coming to this area and feeling this imbalance. These weeks are usually more of imbalance than to push higher, but actually the market respected our demand area. We held till full TP, and as I always say, holders will be blessed handsomely, and traders who hold their trades till full TP, they're going to be blessed. Then on Friday, when we were having our psychological class, and when Nick was in, he talked about what? He talked about what did he talk about actually? He talked about a good ICT concept that is actually called price and time. Okay, that was a good topic he discussed. And I told you guys I was seeing an area where this can still hold prices and sweep this low, and it actually did. As you can see, this low was swept. Actually, it was not swept using this FX open, but using the other brokers, actually it was swept, and the market swept and it pushed even higher. And I was expecting this market to come all the way to this high. Actually, if I do the drawings quite well, I used either FX. Let me just check and confirm. It's not this. It must be FX open. Exactly. So this was the setup. This low was taken out. The market came back to our demand area, tapped into it, and you can see how the market did. The market was even pushing higher. I don't know if you had news, but this market, how it closed and opened around this area, pushed lower, went all the way up and closed around this area. This market is actually pushing. We had another area that was seeing the market actually could work, which was this. But when London gave us this big push, some around 100 pips, I was not interested with this zone again. I knew this zone is going to break and will come to this particular low. But the problem was this entry was triggered at 9 p.m. Friday night. And as you always know, I'm always out of the market during this time. I'm actually either having time with family or enjoying some good time with the boys. Okay, no need to hide. Veli knows how we do it. All right, so that's how this actually pair did. It was actually a good one, and this is where I was actually checking where the market can react from. So I'm still having the bullish buyers. Most of the time for the past 2 months, we've been having gold setups actually respecting price action on Fridays. Then on Monday, we have continuations. So we're going to see if this market is going to open with a bullish candlestick, we can have this as an OB, where the market can actually push even higher, come back to this area where we had a lot of accumulation. Then there we can have a good entry. Then we continue with the bullish run. So that's what I'm having eyes on at probably 3400 psychological zone that can act around 3400, 3399. That can be a good actually price. Let's see if you're having some wicks on 30 minutes, no wick. So sure 45, we have a very big rejection wick. Okay. Then on 1 hour, let's see. 1 hour, no price action is actually filled. And you see how the market is actually reacting. So I'm expecting this side to be taken out actually on Monday. Okay. I'm not expecting this market to come lower. So liquidity has been consumed. We are going higher. All right. So as I told you guys, if you have any questions, please drop them down on the comment section. MG Martin says he was sick, but I'm back. Mr. Lot, welcome back, bro. Good to see you back. Save FT about manipulation. Kadere says thumbs up. Okay, Vincent says he's clapping. Okay, so no questions whatsoever. So you guys means that you guys are okay with the analysis that we have shared. All right. So if you have any questions, please drop them down. I'll be having 5 minutes to answer them. Then let's check a good pair, such as GJ. Didn't check on it actually. Didn't check on it. I had a buy entry over on Tuesday. If it was not on Monday, actually it was on Thursday. Since Wednesday and Thursday didn't come to back to my entry. We saw a good price action. The market shoot higher during the pound on Thursday, during the pound bank rates, and the market has been pushing even higher. So if I'm yet to check where we can have the buys from, sometimes I check this market within this area, and I can see 2 areas, either this area, that's the first area where we can check more buys, or on this area also. Okay, you can have it there. Actually, this looks much more cleaner. Then I'll just do more research on this. I check if this area can work, or we have a H4 FBG. Usually say never put your stop loss. If you're buying, never put your stop loss at an FBG area. It's going to be swept. It's just like donating money to the market. Never put your stop loss on an FVG. You're going to be donating to the market. Then Euro JPY, we had good buys. This was an entry that I had seen actually on Monday, or last week on Sunday actually, and I knew this market was going to actually deliver some good pips. The market actually opened around this area. Then on Monday, the market came back to our entry. Then once we saw this good price action, we were able to enter. I actually didn't enter on this price action. I had a re-entry around, let me check on the 1 hour. I had a re-entry. So this was where we had a re-entry actually on this particular lows. Let me just show you. Yes, on these lows. So after the market, I was having an entry. This was the first entry. Market didn't come to fill this FVG. But once the market actually pumped higher and created a break of structure, then I had another entry on this particular lows. And actually the market delivered some good pips. I had another entry, this particular area where we have an FVG and OB entry. The market didn't come back, but at least our first target was hit. On the higher time frame, where I'm seeing much more bulls to kick in, I'm seeing this as our final target where the market can come to. So I'm still expecting buyers to take control also on this week. So if I'm yet to expect a re-entry. Let me check on the 30 minutes. We see where we can have a re-entry from. Just the last area before, so this price action was filled, probably this particular area, just an extreme area, or this area, probably. But I'll be checking on how the price action is going to behave. But if I was trading this pair, probably I could have had this entry. I usually love trading on the most extreme areas. In case I can place my stop loss at a good area, because where what I'm seeing on this area, I'm seeing stop hunts. Okay, so the market might actually not come back to this particular area. Just a speculation, stop hunts. Okay, we can have this market even pushing even higher from that area. All right, so this is Euro JPY delivered quite good. Okay, any questions? Still no questions. Thank you so much. Will be good. Is there any pair that I've not talked about that I usually trade? Yes, I have to give the mic to Smart Trader. Smart Trader, good afternoon or good evening. I see you are still hunting pips on BTC today, and people who are reacting there that you are still looking for more setups.
So
Smart
hi
Trader,
guys.
if you're in.
Yeah, I'm
You're
in.
in.
So mkoje? I hope mko poa. So it was a good week last week, but today market imeni humble. The signal that I provided market iliamua kutuliquidate, tuliingia mapema, but I've still, because I just trusted on that move, so nimetafuta a perfect re-entry na siko place yenye naweza, I'm not on a conducive environment yenye naweza share screen, but immediately after the meeting I will give the analysis, because I've realized that I'm very busy. Sasa nasema ndatuma na sahau.
Okay.
But thank you. I'm very concerned. Next week, God willingly, ndaanza kupeana the classes on BTC.
All right. Okay, so he's not in a position to trade, but he will share his setup. So this is BTC. It's been long since I held a BTC entry from 83K to around 114, 15 there. I have not actually checked on BTC, but he's a BTC trader. He loves BTC. He says it doesn't have a lot of manipulations. It actually, price reacts quite well. He even convinces us to abandon and to divorce gold and to come to BTC. But the love for gold can never be compared to any other pair. If gold traders can feel me, the love of gold cannot be compared. It humbles us. It has blown so many accounts of ours, but we will still keep on trading gold. It has humbled most of us, but gold is just gold. The love of gold can never be compared to any other love. Okay. If you are a trader and if you feel me, gold is the only pair. Actually, I've passed so many prop firms using gold. I've made a lot of money on my love accounts using gold setups. Actually, gold is, I don't know. This year, we started the year quite well with my brother. He's called Hesbon Basweti Coach. And we were saying, and we had a hashtag that we were saying, it's gold plus God, okay? Plus yourself as a trader. Gold and God, the two. If the two of them, you can wake up and pray and talk to God and tell you to show you the way, the truth, and the light in the market. Actually, trading is spiritual. You need to speak to the charts. You need to speak to the market. Okay? Talk to God. Then check gold every single day. Actually, he used to tell me, and we used to actually check that we used to check gold. That's the first pay we used to check No any other pair. Even if on my side also, when I wake up, the first pair that I usually check on my phone, even before I get to my desk and to my office, is the gold market, to check where the gold market is during Asian session. If it can give us the entry, if not, we'll have to wait for the market. So this is BTC. I'm just actually checking on an area where we can have more buys from this particular area, and I'm so sure BTC is still bullish. So my strategy is simple: supply and demand. It works to any particular pair, even US oil. Name those pairs. Okay, so those are the pairs that I usually trade most of the time. Currencies: gold, JPY, pairs, and NASDAQ and US30. Those are the few pairs that I usually trade and I usually check on every single day. All right, so if there is no question and if we are good, I would love to end this session by saying this is going to be also another wonderful week. It's in August, and we might be having good setups from this week. I usually share on a single day DXY, GBP USD, Euro USD, and also probably USD CAD or USD CHF or AUD USD, the Aussie dollar setups every single day. That's on the public community on the announcement page. But if you want these clean setups that we have had, like last week, we had good crazy setups. We had a lot of pips. I usually share it on the private VIP community. We had 10 entries last week. We had 8 wins and just 2 losses. That's a good win rate. And we had over 1,634 pips collected, and we had over 35 R. Definitely, I didn't take all these trades, but even if you're going to take 80 or 60%, you're going to become profitable only if you took the winning trades. But we have to take all the trades that we usually share there, because we don't know which trades can not. Just like last week, Derek, one of our VIP traders, didn't take a gold trade, and it actually went well, and he saw it's not going to be moving, but it actually moved quite well. So our work as traders is just to speculate where the market is going to react to and where it's going to go to. So this is the private community. This is like NASDAQ entry that we had. Quite good move, as you can see, clean moves. Okay, this is USD JPY, the buys that happened over on Thursday, and this was also gold also on Thursday. On Thursday, that actually went quite well. I even didn't post the Fridays because the Fridays pair didn't actually go quite well. Another thing is we're having our event, Eldoret event, which is going to be on 22nd of this month, happening over on or at Grand Empire Hotel, 22nd of August from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Going to be having 3 speakers, I myself, my brother, Coach Hesbon, and also Ian Joseph. We're going to share a lot of insights, strategies, and also mentorship, also all together, totally free of charge, no charges whatsoever. We're going to even to have snacks and also some stash, and also a good meal, not a meal, some let me say refreshments. It's free of entry. For requirements, you need to have an HFM account, an active HFM account. No need to fund if you have not funded. Just have an active HFM account. We're going to have a lot of merchandise and a lot of giveaways during this day. A lot of HFM t-shirts are going to be given, a lot of hoodies, a lot of bonus, what we call trade credit accounts. Okay, the $200, $100, $300. They're going to be given also during this day. I'll be the main speaker of the day. Come interact, share. You're going to meet me and also other traders. It's going to be more of a networking session and also sharing these strategies that we've been having, and also more of copy trading, account management, and also the supply demand setup that we usually share. I am a price action trader using supply and demand. I don't use I don't use what do we call them? Indicators. We simply indicators. Okay. So this group has over, let me check the members. It has over 89 members so far. So I believe all these 89 members are going to be coming to this event. I have saved a number of them, but wengine sija save numbers out. There's no issue. So we have over 89. But I believe as the days goes by, we're going to be having more. So we have 100 members, but we have an exception. I'll just tell you this. We have an exception of 50 plus members just because we might be many. So come, let's interact. 22nd of August on Friday from 11 to 6, Grand Empire Hotel. If you don't know that area, call me. I'll just show you the direction. So until there, adios and thank you so much. Let's wait for the market to open and let's make crazy pips this week. We are going to make crazy money. I am really motivated for this week. We have clean setups, clean analysis that we're going to be doing over there. And also, if anyone wants to join the private VIP community before I just close there, it's very simple. You can join using any of the packages that are here. You can pay in installments, quite okay, especially for the 3 months and also the 6 months. I am a very lenient mentor. I can allow you to do so. And here is where we're going to interact with the serious trader. Where is this poster? Exactly, this is where the poster is. The monthly is $35 for 1 month. Quarterly is actually much cheaper. For 3 months, which is $55. You can pay in 2 equal installments. We have the semi-annual for $85. Annually, $150, then the lifetime, $300. Come in, you're going to access mentorship classes, live trading analysis. We usually do it 4 times a week. I started with 2 times, but now it's 4 times. You're going to get daily premium signals, 2 to 3 per day, advanced technical analysis session, advanced fundamental analysis sessions, mindset development classes, just like the one that we had with Kefa and the other 2 previous weeks. Pro-farm guidance of being funded. We have a lot of people being funded in our community. Then we have 24 hours support. You can text me anytime and I can reply you anytime. Terms and conditions do apply. Text me on this and I will guide you over and we can have a good training sessions. We are over, I guess we are 41 now in this private community, 42 now. We're doing good and so many of us are here. So let's end the session there. If you guys don't have any question, I'll beg to leave. I'm seeing we have one chat. 11 days to the event. Yes, Dean says 11 days, just 11 days. So give me those flowers, give me those reactions so that you can end the meeting in style. Thank you so much, guys. I see you, Veli, I see Lenny, MJFX, Veli, Vincent, FAJKP. All right. I see you guys. Thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful evening and let's meet over on Monday for a good trading session all together. Asanteni sana. May pips be with you this week and may you have a beautiful week all together. Thank you.